After War period. It's the Oxford novel. Okay, this is Angela Davis, Women, Race and Class.
Hello everybody, thank you so much for watching today's video. As you can see by the title, this is going to be a ranking of classics. So what I'm going to do is go through all the classics that I have read, haven't read, kind of a mixture of everything, and this is for your entertainment. If there's a book that you like that I have bad things to say about it, don't take it personally, please. It's not that serious. So this tier I kind of copied from Emma Angeline, but that's okay. She had her top tier as Bangers and Mash, and I think that is so funny. The next one, Was a Good Time, means I did like the book, but I didn't love it. Like, it's not top. It's not God tier. Like, I didn't love it that much. The next one is Adding It to My TBR. So this one is for the books that I do strike an interest with, but I just haven't read it. So I'm going to add it to my TBR, which, oh my gosh, guys, I literally just bought like, I bought like 8 new books. Or is it 10? I bought extra books because I'm doing a video on celebrity book clubs, and I'm going to read one book from each book club and give you my thoughts and opinions about it. So second tier, Was a Good Time, means that it was alright, it wasn't the best. Next tier, Adding It to My TBR, means kind of self-explanatory, adding it to my TBR, so that means I really liked it. Next, Are You Okay? So this one is kind of like, And then the bottom one, Save the Trees. Emma Angeline had this on her tier as well, and I think it's so funny. Like, literally, don't print the book out, just Save the Trees. Because it is that bad. Anyways, so let's get through these books. This one... Oh god, so we're starting first with a book that I am not familiar with. William Faulkner. Let me just... Absalom. Published in 1936. It's considered by many to be a masterpiece. What is it about? The story concerns Thomas Sutpen, a poor man who finds wealth and then marries into a respectable family. His ambition and extreme need for control bring about his ruin and the ruin of his family. So this doesn't mean it's a bad book. I just won't read it. So Save the Trees. You can save the trees because I'm just not going to buy a copy. I'm just not gonna buy a copy. I would say this one was a good time because it was an interesting one, because this particular book I feel like influenced a lot of film and media and pop culture, so I feel like it is like an important book to read, and I really just wanted to know what everybody was talking about, so I read it. I read this one in Las Vegas when I was living there for a time. Everybody should read at least once. Next is The Catcher in the Rye. So I haven't read this book, but I do actually have an interest to read it. I heard that it's very pretentious, so I feel like it will be a favorite. I feel like it will be a really good time because I love a humorous classic. I have a question for the internet. Why is it that every time I type in a book, there's a film adaptation of it? Like, what? Moby Dick. It is the horrible texture of fabric that should be wool. So it has something to do with the ocean, which I think is slay because I love the water. If you guys don't know, my name is Kelsey. That means sailing ship. So I always thought my fate had to do with traveling. So I think that's why I've been on like 41 airplanes the past 2 years, because I'm following my destiny. It's one of the greatest works of imagination in literary history. In part, Moby Dick is the story of an eerily compelling madman pursuing an unholy war against a creature as vast and dangerous. Ooh, so it's coming to war against a whale, I'm presuming. But more than just a novel of adventure, more than just an encyclopedia of whaling lore and legend, this book can be seen as part of its author's a lifelong meditation on America. Next is 1984. I hear so many people talk about this book. 1984. So many people talk about this book. I don't really know anything about it. I don't know if that has something to do with me. Like, just not appreciating her works right now in the day and age that I am in. So what we're gonna do is just put, "Are you okay?" Or I hate to put her on the bottom because I do love the Jane Austen aesthetic. I love Jane Austen films, but the books, I don't know, I just put it down and then I never pick it back up. Next book is Beloved by Toni Morrison. This book is beautiful. This is written by a poet, so I never read this book, but I expect it to be beautiful prose because whenever a poet writes a novel, so I absolutely do have a copy of Don Quixote in London. What is not making me interested in it? I think war. I'm not interested in any war stories. I might read it those. If I'm gonna be really honest, as of right now, I'm not gonna pick it up. Polner. I'm sorry, I cannot read that for the life of me. What does it say? What is this bloody title? I don't know. I can't read it. I'm sorry, but I have no interest. I don't know who this is. Next one. Is that? Oh no. David Copperfield. That book just looks so boring to me. The Iliad. I have this one and the Odyssey on my TBR to read. I was going to read it last summer. I absolutely love Virginia Woolf. I think she's an exceptional pioneer writing. She is so talented. I've loved everything that I've read from her. This next book, Swan's Way. Swan's Way? I don't think... Is that a classic? Others Karamazov. Yes, I'm definitely reading that one. I love Dostoevsky and how he can write about the human condition. And I love this one because I believe it's about 4 brothers and each one has a different... And so one's a Christian, one's like a nihilistic, one's like a atheist, and I forget what the other one was. But I think this book would be so interesting. I love to read that one. Next, we have The Stranger by Albert Camus. Now, this is going to be added to my TBR because I heard so many people read this book, and so it's definitely a classic I want to get to. I don't have any thoughts on it now, but a lot of people have different opinions on this book. Next one is To Kill a Mockingbird. I actually thought this book said How to Kill a Mockingbird, but it's To Kill a Mockingbird. Next is The Odyssey. Now, like I said, similar to the Iliad, I wanted to read this book during the summer, but... Next one is Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. This one I don't think I'll ever read. I watched this show on Broadway when I was little and I just found it very boring. Next is War and Peace. I absolutely want to read this one, but by the sheer size of it, it freaks me out. Next is Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. I have no idea what book this is, and I don't really care to look at the synopsis, to be honest, so we'll pass on that. Next is Ernest Hemingway, The Sun Also Rises. I will read it someday, just not now. Next is The Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. Oh my god, why is every book a bloody adaptation? Ooh, this looks interesting. It's giving thriller, it's giving 1920s or 30s. It's a fascinating story of Griffin, a scientist who creates a serum to render himself invisible. Ooh, and his descent into madness. Adding to the TBR, thank you very much. That sounds insane. Next, I'm surprised I don't know a lot of these books. Jane Eyre is a book that I really want to read. I want to read someday all of the Bronte sister book collection. I want to read everything Bronte. Next is 100 Years of Solitude. 100 Years of Solitude, I'm sorry. Are you okay? Next is going to be Leo Tolstoy. Absolutely, I don't need to say much about this book because it's so damn popular. Next is The Great Fucking Gatsby. Of course I'm gonna read that. Ulysses. Sure, I'll read it. Irish author. Why not? Next is Virginia Woolf. Of course I'm gonna read Virginia Woolf. Mrs. Dalloway. This one is Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. The Trial by Franz Kafka. I will read Kafka. I personally haven't clicked that great with Kafka. Yes, Great Expectations, no. The Divine Comedy. I was reading this book. I absolutely love this one though, so I'm going to put this one. Bangers and Mash. Oh my god, I love the Dante comic. That book changed my life. Little Women, adding to my TBR. I would love to read that. The Call of the Wild. First published in 1903, The Call of the Wild is regarded as Jack London's masterpiece based on London's experiences as a gold prospector in Canadian wilderness. Ooh, this might be interesting. I feel like I sometimes go through phases of wanting to read books about snow and ice, and so this will fit into that category very well. One I'm not very familiar with either. Hemingway, The Old Man and the Sea. Okay, yeah, I'll love to read that. All Quiet on the Western Front. Oh, it has to do with war. I can see the helmet. Nah, I'm not gonna read that. This next one is called The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. No, thank you. Hamlet. Did I read Hamlet? I think I read Macbeth. So this one is for the TBR. I've read Macbeth. I've read Romeo and Juliet. Next is William Faulkner. Why does William Faulkner, why does he keep coming up here? I've never read any of his books. As I Lay Dying. So this one, Save the Trees, because I don't know what it is. I don't think I'll have any interest in figuring out what it is. Lord of the Rings, Crime and Punishment. I just finished this book and it is chef's kiss. Frankenstein, absolute god tier. This is going up to the top as well. On the Road. I've seen this float around on BookTube and I've seen people say it's quite good, so I'll add that to my TBR as well. Next is Carmilla. This is god tier. This is going up to the top. I loved Carmilla. I read Carmilla in 2022. The book changed my life. It's like one of the first sapphic vampire books to ever exist. The Bell Jar. Add this one to my TBR because I actually was looking at this at the bookstore yesterday. I was gonna buy it, but then I was like, I literally just bought like 9, maybe even 10 books. Dracula is definitely top tier. I'm putting this one at the top as well. That one is phenomenal. Absolutely love. Sappho was amazing, and I loved how she wrote about the moon and nature, and just like a lot of it you can still relate to this day. Virginia, oh yes, I remember this one. I read this one 2022 as well when I was living in Stoke Newington. This is one of the first Virginia Woolf books that I've ever read and it changed my life. I love this book so much. I love how she was talking about if Shakespeare had a sister, like what kind of amazing books that she would have written. Next, Wuthering Heights. This one is definitely a banger. So excited for the new film. Profundis. This one was a good time. I read this like a couple years ago. This one, TBR, Romeo and Juliet, absolute banger. I loved this one so much. I tried to reread it every year. Brideshead Revisited. This one was okay. I didn't really like it that much, to be honest. The Yellow Wallpaper, Are You Okay? I didn't even like this one either. Rebecca, this one was a banger as well. Sorry, I'm like talking a little bit faster because my camera's dying. Look at my TBR, it is so big. Let's make 2026 the best year ever for reading. I'll see you in the next video. Mwah.